Steamboats, and I will be doing the set design for Life in Mississippi. As a graduate student, we are assigned shows that we're going to design, and UMKC, the school that I go to, has a relationship with the Coterie Theater, where student designers we are offered to come and to work here and to get some real-world design under our belts instead of just doing school productions. So it's quite a blessing to be able to work with such a well-known theater. What you see next to me are called image boards. What we do is when you are the designer for a show, the first thing you do is you read the script, and then you reread the script and go through and pick out all the little bits and pieces that you are going to want to be using in your set, and then you research those pieces. So for example, in Life on the Mississippi, we use a pilot house of a steamboat. So I went and I did research on steamboats and on pilot houses and ship wheels and what they look like both on the inside and the outside. And then using the research, we recreate, or try at least to recreate, a semblance of what the overall piece should look like. What we're doing with this show is it's sort of a selective realism, where we take realistic aspects of what a steamboat looks like, and we're sort of puzzle piecing them together to create a feeling. So it's not going to look like a literal steamboat that you're going to go and sail down the river in. It's going to look like little bits and pieces that you'll recognize, and your eye will put them together as what they're supposed to be. This image right here, this is one that we very much connected with. You can see the circles on the board because we got a little excited. But you're actually going to be seeing both aspects, both the bell and the ship steps. The ship steps are used to get us to the level of the pilot house. And then the bell is significant because it's an emergency bell. So when you pull a cord from inside the pilot house, this bell will ring. This image right here, we're using the opening so that the audience can see into the interior of the pilot house, and you can see how the ship wheel turns and works, and the speaking tubes and all of the pulleys and that type of thing. As well, in this image, you can see the title, The Bald Eagle, right here. It's sort of hard to make out, but we're going to be using that same position for the titles of the ships in Life on the Mississippi. Since there are 3 ships, we'll have a panel that rotates so that you can tell what the ship names are for each one. It helps the audience stay in location. And then if you look at the top of this image, you see this detail right here of the smokestack. That will actually be moved around the base to give the same feel as what you see in the image, except since our ceiling is not that high, it has to be a little lower to the ground, but it'll still give that same effect. I very much enjoyed the show the first time I read it, especially getting to listen to the music with it, because there are several fun songs in it that are very enjoyable. But I think the interesting thing was figuring out what I thought a steamboat looked like versus what it really does. Getting that cliche out of my mind, and now knowing more of the ins and outs of what the overall steamboat looks like, how they worked, what they carried, both the cargo and the people, and who would travel up and down the river, and how dangerous they were. That was very surprising to me to find out. I think the most exciting part is to be able to create a world that is sometimes recognizable and sometimes not, but that your audience is going to feel as if they fit in. Something intriguing for the audience to look at and to experience, but also that works with the play, and that the actors are able to move effectively around to bring the total package to the viewer.
Setting: an antebellum Mississippi steamboat. At stage right is a ship's pilot house. In the pilot house is a large ship's wheel, and next to it, a speaking tube, several cords with pull handles, a shelf with a brass telescope, some logbooks and navigation charts, and away from the wheel, a chair and table. Inside the pilot house, there is also a small Franklin stove, a bucket of coal, and a small hand shovel. Leading stage left from the pilot house is a stretch of promenade deck, with chairs at far left for passengers, which also double as the bunks in the sleeping cabin. Behind the promenade is a cabin wall with regularly spaced portholes. A large sign, possibly on the pilot house, has the ship's name, Paul Jones. The year is 1857.
I've always thought there was a dream waiting for me if I could find it. It could be there round the next bend or on a hill, maybe behind it. So I'm looking. Here in the woods, there in the wind,